up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 102.
102. Here we are.
Yes. We had some awesomeness added to episode 101 in a rage cage. Thank you to our friends at and our sponsors of Strictly Blizzness, Creative Edge and Edge VR.
They're the ones that put it all together. It was fabulous. And we also need to thank Werner Electric.
Who were at the game. About 100 people strong and celebrating 75 years of business as well. So,
yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
And they obviously had a great time.
They did.
Good. So let's talk about the game.
Yep.
It was a great game.
It was. I mean, I watched a lot of it while conducting a band with Pulaski High School. So
you had a headset on?
I did. It was kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
It was the most clear I've ever been able to talk to the booth. So, because the regular walkie-talkies are not outstanding. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe that's what you need to wear from now on.
I don't know if there's a cord long enough for me to walk all the way around the building.
You have to sit in one spot and direct.
True, actually.
Just from one spot.
Yep.
I think you could do it. I challenge you.
Maybe. To sit still?
No, well,
Had
that
the
too.
headset on?
Yeah, that too.
It was actually pretty fun, though.
Yeah,
so.
Good.
Yeah, they did it incredible. And at one point, they stopped and started pretty cleanly, except like in the third, we got a little gutsy and we were starting to play drum cadences over the crowd get loud. And Director Bush and Pulaski started watching the game, and I couldn't get the drum line to stop. And the other team for sure snapped the ball, and they were still playing. I'm like, well,
oopsie.
I did it. I'm going to get flagged. So
I didn't hear of it.
No, he for sure was watching the game. I'm like, you got to stop them. They're not watching me. So, yeah, they did great, though.
So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the block party.
Well, 9 years ago, you hired me.
No, not that beginning.
Oh, okay.
Just last week's game.
Okay, got it.
So outside, there were a lot of great vehicles.
Yep.
I saw kids climbing in and out of them. Bruiser climbing in and out of them.
Quad Cities climbing in and out of them.
Quad Cities as well. It was pretty cool. I got to listen to some of the concert, which was fantastic.
Yeah, he's good. He's
really good.
I would
he's such a
follow
nice
him,
guy.
download his stuff, whatever. He is incredible. Yep.
Yeah. I got to talk to him a little bit while he was in the bunker.
Yeah.
And he's just a great guy to talk to. Very down to earth. He was saying he had to get home because it was his wife's birthday.
Yeah, and he's playing the next day somewhere else in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So then after that, we had some Bomber players that were back again. Some were repeat returners. A couple were new and got to experience. I got to talk to one of them, Saul, and he was saying, I am so proud to be a part of this organization before it was this organization.
Sure.
He said, but to see how things have developed, we talked about the vet rule, and he thought that was really cool. We talked about the community involvement and how important that is.
Yeah.
And he just said it's really changed, and yet some of the preface of how it was back then, 20 years ago, is still there. And he said he was really proud.
That's cool.
But he also said the guys are a lot bigger now. So, yeah. But he said he's got one play left in him.
Okay.
One play. One down.
Yeah. I'll let you navigate that if we're signing a one-day contract.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. No. So I have a cheat sheet today because there is a lot of stuff to talk about. So after that, it was the game. I think it was a well-played game. We got out ahead right away, which we said we needed to do because you never know with Hilliard where or what is going to happen.
Yep.
So we did really well. I would say that the only thing that I have for our team, especially with the hopes of playoffs coming, is we have to be able to finish strong.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we had that big point spread, and then by fourth quarter, it was getting a little dicey. I was a little scared there for a minute.
Yeah,
well, not even a minute.
When I finally got to look again, it was within 10, and it was with outside of 10 most of the game from what I remember. But
it was. And then
again, I was watching a game script and a clock and listening and don't play. So
yeah. We had a very unfortunate hit that happened in the fourth quarter. And I know there's a lot of people out there wondering how he's doing. Obviously, we can't share medical information. I can tell you that for, we call him a T-Tom, but for Tyrell, it was not as bad of an injury as it looked. It's still going to be very detrimental, but not to the extent that all of us were fearing. He did leave the game in a ambulance and had to go to the hospital for tests. But, please hold him in your prayers, because that was an unfortunate way and a dirty way to leave the game. I mean, it was a hit that was, I would say, uncalled for. An unsportsmanlike was called. That's also going to be reviewed to see if there's any more that should come of it, because it was just dirty. It was dirty. So, and I get it. Quad Cities has had a great season coming off, going to the championship last year.
Yeah.
I get it. When you're down a number of points, you retaliate.
Tempers will flare.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there was some of that. There were a lot of flags being thrown, lots of unsportsmanlike. Our guys kept it in check. So that was cool. Very cool. I do want to give a shout out to a couple of players in particular. Canty was on fire. Did you see?
I did. I mean, I watched the game. Paid attention is a different question.
Oh my gosh! It was like he's been with us now for a few years. He's considered Unc to the guys, and he's a great man. He's just a great man. We didn't think he was going to come back this year, and now I'm wondering if we can get another season out of him.
He lives here now, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He lives here during the season, but his career path is law enforcement.
Got it.
I mean, that's what his plan is to do down south. And he was just, I'm like, oh, is that Canty? I mean, he was moving so fast. Not that he does. I mean, he's a very athletic man, but I was very, very impressed by him during the game. And then obviously our quarterback, Max, was again phenomenal. Yeah. All the touchdowns and just being able to run the ball and get where we needed to be. There were some fourth downs that got converted, and that was really cool. So Max has hit his stride. Obviously, everybody wants to know where Jerome is, and it's hard on a player when you're injured to see somebody take your place and do well. Not because you don't want them to do well, but because there's a part of you that's like, man, I wish I wasn't hurt, because I could be doing that. And these two have been very good with each other all season. Max supported Jerome. Jerome is supporting Max. So I think it's a cool thing to see. I'm really glad that Corey had two quarterbacks, because I don't know where we would be right now if we didn't have him for a quarterback. So shout out to them. And then I have a thing. I brought a prop. So this is really cool. After the game, I was standing at the boards, and this woman was there calling out to a player. And at first I didn't hear what she had said. And she's waving, and she's got this bag of something, and it's pens. Okay. Read what it says on there.
Riverius River pens.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
They're sponsored.
So he made a bunch of pens up to hand out to the kids. And I thought, you know what? That's ingenuity. This is NIL. He's got his name on something. He's handing it out to people. It's got a little football in there that floats. So shout out to him for taking that initiative and getting that done.
Solid.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah. Anyway, so I thought I'd bring it as a prop.
That's awesome.
It was neat.
I have no idea what's on the list, in case everybody's wondering. So I'm along for the ride today.
The only other player thing that I have is I saw Newbold on Saturday at the
camp,
Jermichael Finley camp, which we'll talk about later. But he said to me, "I'm not even going to bother talking to you, Miss Kathy." That's my Newbold expression. And I'm like, "What?" He said, "You always got that mug. You're always mugging." And I go, "This is my resting face. This is me. This is what I am." And I said, "Actually, every time I see you, I'm wondering what kind of trouble you're getting into." So yeah, I'm giving you that look of whatever. So don't be afraid of me. I'm not that, as people say, I have this great bark, but sometimes I have a bite. As seen in the Rage Cage, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah.
What else do I have? So after the game, it's one of those things when I get a phone call from you saying, "Hey, are you coming down? Destiny's down here. She wants to talk to you." Yeah. it's pretty cool to have a GM from a team that just lost wanting to talk to you. And I have to shout out to that coaching staff. There was a lot of what I'll call, instead of unsportsmanlike players, there was unsportsmanlike fans. Go home, you know, what they usually say,
Sure.
which I don't know that we need to hear that, but it's said, I get it. But Destiny said, you know, if we had to lose to somebody, it was okay to lose to you guys. So
Yeah, and we thank him going into this episode. Corey, Ross, Destiny, and Doug, you guys are incredible. Thank you for being accommodating, and we see a lot of our themes there and vice versa. And I wish they hadn't auctioned their military jerseys, because if we run it back next year, having both teams in military jerseys on a military night would be pretty cool.
Well, that doesn't mean they won't get new military
Correct.
jerseys.
Well, yeah, they're going to. I just asked them to not sell them if they're playing us the next game. So,
yeah. And Corey Ross, another stellar individual. Yep. I really like him. I mean, he does watch our show.
Yep.
So shout out to him as well. I got to catch up with him a little bit after the game as well. So just a good organization.
Absolutely.
I had talked, I was texting back and forth with Doug, the majority owner, and he was out of town, so not at the game, but it was pretty cool that where he was out of the country, and he was still in his hotel room watching the game.
Yeah.
It was 2:30 in the morning where he was.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think he does his show anymore, but like quarantine game day evolved strictly into what it is now. But like we watched, Doug used to sit in a steam room in a towel and do interviews, and in his Quad Cities version of Strictly Blizz, where it was in the steam room, and Kathy and I had debated being in a snowbank or in snowmobile suits somewhere, right?
So.
But a really good ownership group that gets it, that you can give fans more than just football, and then when your football is as good as it has been for them, you kind of get the perfect storm of entertainment and sports. So
yeah, and that's really what we're trying to achieve in Green Bay. I mean, we haven't had a winning season where we've been in the playoffs for a while, and our fans, it's not that they've depleted in size,
right.
They've actually increased in size, and that has a lot to do with our players being out in the community. So shout out to the players. I can't tell you how many people say to us, it's really cool what you do in the community. And when you hear at the Jermichael Finley camp, as a matter of fact, there was a dad with his daughter that was there, mom and dad with their daughter, and she was carrying a football. And you had asked, did she get some signatures?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah. And I can't remember which one he said was at her
might have
school.
been Rivers.
Was it Rivers?
Yeah.
Was at her school and read to her. So then to be able to see him on the field and realize he's a person plus a player. And once he heard that she remembered him coming to her school, he put a nice heart next to his name, which she just ate up.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously he did too, because he thought that was pretty cool that she remembered him. So you guys don't understand the impact that you have on these kids when you visit. And, you know, they start at a young age. It's girls and boys. They get invested in the players. There's kids that are concerned, as we found out about today. A daughter being concerned about the guy that went down. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
So they pay attention, and I don't think the players realize how much they affect the kids when they're in the schools.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope you realize how much you affect our community as well, owning this thing. So we're going to rewind to halftime and talk about, let's just talk about who actually has math problems on this show instead of the one that gets blamed for it. So I get a text asking if we can round the check to $5,000, and then that check becomes $10,000 to Desert Vets, Wisconsin.
So
that's the last time I've heard from you, mind you, in 20 minutes, and then I watch it unfold at halftime. I'm like, well, there's some Ryan math on that check there, and it's someone very important to us personally and as an organization and for what they stand for. So kudos to you guys. So just so everybody understands, that was a Larry and Kathy checkbook decision from two incredible people to do what they did for Desert Vets, on top of thanks to Village Companies and Dean Distributing for the initial 4, but that was pretty awesome of you. So
I don't know what I've got nothing. But I told you, so I saw you down in the tunnel, and I said, pay attention.
Yep.
I had just gone upstairs to talk to Larry, and I said, you know what? He said, how much are we giving them? And I said, it's 4. And I said, I want to do more than 4. And I said something to Ryan about putting another 1,000 on there. And he looks at me and he goes, Blondie, do what you want to do. I went, are you sure? But I gave this what I thought was a tribute to my dad and his dad, and felt I gave a salute up to Mel, who was upstairs, and after it was all said and done, it was very moving. I was teared up. Those guys were choked up. I got a wonderful medallion from them, which was presented on the field, which I'm having framed and putting it in my office. And I went upstairs, and Larry's like, so did we give the check? And I'm like, dude, it just happened. You didn't see any of that?
You know what? Like, Larry's challenged me to take some more time off. I actually challenged Larry on air to hang out with her for an entire game. Don't go anywhere in the locker room. Don't stand in the party pit, and watch the entertainment part of a game. So
because it is hilarious. I had some little fans with me again this time in the front row. So every time I come back from halftime, from being up in the suite, there's kids that have taken over the row. So I don't know if that's parents that know this is going to happen or what. And we didn't have enough seats for all the kids that were there. And I looked at one kid and I said, so where is your seat? Where do you sit? And he goes, right here. And I said, no, I don't think so. And you can just see the expression of his face change, and he's looking up at his parents, and the parents are like, get off. And I said, I'll tell you what, you can sit there, but I have to be able to hear you. If I can't hear you on defense, then you can't sit here.
Yeah.
So we all kind of squeezed together, and it was pretty cool. It was a neat event. And I love to see those kids get involved and asking me questions, whose number this and whose number that. Because obviously when we have military jerseys on, like this one from way back in the day, it's tough for the kids to know because their name is no longer on it. So let's talk about these jerseys just a little bit, because I brought this one on to kind of show. This was part of the set that we auctioned off years ago. We are going to auction off more military jerseys. I believe we have 2 sets of jerseys.
We do. We have the ones you saw, and then we still have photos floating around because they're great. They're not the best material ones from 2 years ago, but they're insane looking. They're a green camo and flag one.
Yeah,
so,
and we will get a new version of military, and I agree. I think the camo, other than these, I really like these because of the red, white, and blue. The tribute to the fallen soldiers on there as well, and all of the branches of the military. So we'll look at how we're going to auction these off, when we're going to auction them off. So stay tuned, because it'll probably happen right near the end of the season or going into the holidays.
Cool.
Yeah. And then obviously I want to thank our fans.
Yeah.
Because once again, the fans and the noise did make a difference in the game. And I don't think you guys realize how much of a difference that makes. The band probably had something to do with it as well.
Playing when they weren't supposed to.
Because Ryan told them to. No.
It was really good when we followed the script. It's when I went off script. I'm like, all right, let's have the drum line on when we're on defense. So
it was cool, though.
Yep.
It was really cool. Thank you to Mark Winter for announcing. Thank you to the booth. I mean, we got to do all the thank yous now because we're at the end of the season.
Yeah, Coach actually asked if we'd bring the game. On the way here, I got a text asking we bring the band back every game next year. So
that would be really cool.
In the corner, even if they don't have a halftime. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be really neat. That's a lot of people.
Yep.
I mean, when we saw them unfold on the field, they were literally end to end on the field, which was really cool. And it's not very often that people stay in their seats for the halftime show, and they stayed in their seats to listen to the band, and it was fabulous.
Yes. Sorry, I interrupted your thank yous.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So thank you to the band.
Yeah.
Thank you to the booth. Thank you to all of the people on press row. Thank you to Joey Bonadonna for all of his highlights that he's done in calling the game. He does a great job on YouTube. You want to name the people you have on press row?
Yeah. Kara, Zepnik, Noah, Cole, who rides shotgun as color commentary with Joey, who was one of our interns. And then everything we do on the field is not possible without Vetrano emceeing as well. So, and I think he genuinely loves it. So Nick is awesome. So, And then our stats team with Bruce, it was the last game, but he'll come around this summer to help train whoever that is. Again, if you want to get involved with stats with the Blizzard, you have the opportunity to, but that is the press row team and the rest of the PMI fam that makes that go. So.
And let's not forget Mr. Gary Schelk.
Schelk, yeah, sorry.
Schelker is the guy, the IT guy behind everything. He's the one, if something's going wrong, it's not even just for our team. If something's going wrong anywhere in the IFL, they call Gary.
Yep.
Yeah. So shout out to all those people. Shout out to the people from Shepherd Express that came up to experience a game in person from Milwaukee. They're part of a podcast that I was on earlier in the season to talk about what we do up here. They do all sorts of sports around Wisconsin is the theme of their podcast. So shout out to them as well.
Shout out to the friends at Creative Edge for a video you guys will see soon for our fan etiquette.
I'm looking forward to it. We had some great fans that I'll tell you a funny story. So we have all these fans that want to be part of it. I'm walking around. Hey, do you want to be part of a video for next season? You want to be a part of a video? And they all come down and we're all in this one section and there's these two people in their seats in the front row. So I walked up to them. I said, do you guys want to be in the video? Oh, no. I said, well, then could you move this way just a little bit? Because it would have looked really strange to have all these fans cheering and whatever. And then these two people just drinking their beer.
Nice.
So it was awesome.
Yep.
So, yes, thank you to Creative Edge for creating some great content. And you guys did, we talked about the transition in what was on the Jumbotron. Mm-hmm. We had quite a bit of hoopla around the new introduction of what Creative Edge brought out. Yeah. And it was fabulous. Yeah. Of course, that doesn't go anywhere without thanking Lighthouse for everything they did this year. Because Lighthouse and I'm always amazed at how they hustle.
Yeah.
He is, when that anthem is going on, he's just...
The lighting tower is gone by the time it's kickoff.
It is. He's getting the stuff off the field. I mean, it's amazing what they do. So thank you to Lighthouse Productions for everything.
For all seasons.
For all seasons. For
lasers,
this one.
snow, concert, player intros is all Lighthouse. Block party. Yep. So
guitars this year.
Yep.
On a whim.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we got some great partners. We really do.
Yeah.
Really do. So,
shout out to Jermichael Finley for coming out to a game, and then good. Those kids probably are still recovering from the camp. Like, we were an hour and a half in, and sweat was all over the place. So yeah,
and I'm sure. So just to give you guys kind of an overview, there was not a ball thrown, so it was not about passing, catching. It was drills. It was exercise. So I know Bryce at one point sent me, "Are you going to be here this morning?" I'm sure it was, can I do something other than this?
Yeah, he worked him hard. Yep.
He did. Yeah. So he had Bryce told me after he was done, I don't think I'm doing baseball tomorrow.
I can't move.
I don't think I'll be able to move. Today would be yesterday would have been, today would be the day where they really feel it.
Yeah.
Because it's a full, that 48-hour mark. But
yep.
So thank you to Jermichael Finley. It was a great camp.
Thank you to our 7 guys that got up butt early after a win to do that. So appreciate it. Yep.
Yeah, and they did a great job.
Yeah, assisting. And Olu, who came out from Aurora, actually. So
and they learned some new things. And what I thought was really cool, they were giving tips. The interns and Selena were telling me that they were giving tips to the kids around footwork and how to do different drills or get the most out of a drill. If you're darting to the right or to the left, and it was neat to see that and see them engaged. Yeah. Again, making a difference to kids in the community.
Absolutely.
That's what I got.
That's a lot.
Do we want to talk?
Done?
My list is done.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to talk about the IFL in general?
Yeah.
And just kind of what's shaking out?
Yeah, ridiculous games this weekend.
Again.
It would take a miracle for Kathy and I to unpack every single playoff scenario for you, especially in the other division now, where there's not 2 clear ones at the bottom. A game, I believe, as I looked at it last night, but I don't think the Arizona game had folded. A game separates. There's 4 and 7s, 5 and there are literally like 3 blocks in the other division with a game, and like the bottom teams are not out of the playoffs in the other divisions either.
So Bay Area and the Rattlers are
now tied at top too. It is crazy. Yep.
For first place. So In our division, it's the usual suspects of Frisco and Massachusetts.
Frisco got Sioux Falls last possession, it almost looked like. It was
they
by
were
3, I think. Yeah, so
that had to be a tough one for Riggs.
So to say that Sioux Falls game that we're headed to in a week after the bye week here matters is an understatement. It is the tiebreaker between us and Sioux Falls, and probably the most important in the playoff stretch for us, I'm guessing.
Because their loss to Frisco moved us up into 4th place.
Yep.
So if everything ended today, we would be in the playoffs.
Yep.
And it's not over. We have 4 very important games. And you're right, this bye week, very much needed.
Yep.
Very much needed.
And the opponents are Sioux Falls. Is it Tulsa or Tucson? It's Tulsa. Sioux Falls, Tulsa, then Quad Cities again. And then Tucson, which is not a joke in Tucson. So
no, Tucson's another team to be reckoned with. So they're vying for that 3rd spot, I believe, right now. So
yeah, we got a lot of, which is weird. We got a lot of love on the IFL forum, but a lot of the comments were like the schedule is ridiculous for them, but they're playing the best when it matters. So yeah,
right. And as we said, I had that rant early on in the season about the forum. As we've said, after the first game, you cannot say anything about any team because it doesn't mean much. Your squad matters when it matters, and that's at the end, making sure. Now, you can't get too far behind in wins, but now these are the games where it matters, and we have the right team to go into the playoffs with. So kudos to you guys for holding it together and doing a great job.
Yeah.
We had baby Barrett there. Did you see him?
Yeah. I saw photos. I didn't.
Oh, he's all of like 6 weeks old.
Actually, was not allowed to move for 3/4 this game. So.
He was up in the suite with me. So, but there were some great pictures of him with his daddy, our coach, offensive coordinator Matt Barrett, and they had matching shoes.
Nice.
It was so cute. So cute. He's a little peanut.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
We saw a movie.
We did see a movie.
Yep.
Highly recommend it.
Transformers, the new one, is amazing. So, it was awesome.
Ryan was rustling his popcorn bag, though, a little too much.
That was intentional. It was not an accident.
I don't know if it was. I think you did. Well, you did.
The first time was intentional. If it happened after that, it was probably an accident. So,
no, great movie. If you haven't followed that, how many movies do they have now?
Is this 7? If you count Bumblebee, I think this is 7.
Oh, I do because it's related. But you get to see the classic Bumblebee.
It's 7. It's 3 Shia, 2 Wahlberg, then Bumblebee in and now. It's 7.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm glad you know.
Yeah.
I just knew it was 6 or 7.
I like the ones with Dinobots. I was a big Dinobot guy growing up. So, yep.
Yeah, so we have the Autobots, which is fabulous. And then we have the...
What did he call the Maximals?
Maximals.
So the Rise of the Beast animals. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which were really cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
We don't want to ruin it for you,
sets up
though.
a really weird and awesome thing. It's Hasbro generated. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So
just leave it at that.
Yep.
So it ends on a ooh.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyway, and then we have Flash coming up.
Yep.
Which we won't get to by the next episode.
Correct.
But yeah.
Yeah. Bye week, and then watch for view party information. And there's probably some community stuff this week. It's kind of a...
Yeah, got stuff going on.
I'm kind of part-timing it right now, I'm going to be honest, on a Monday morning. So I don't know what's on the calendar yet this week. So, but follow us on social media to find out where we're at this week.
Yeah, so we as a staff are going, the office staff, we're going to a golf outing tomorrow, which should be interesting.
Because not a one of us golf well. She can make contact. I barely make contact. I am not sure what Nap and Selena's status are with the game of golf.
We'll find out. Yep. Hopefully they have clubs.
I don't think so.
Oh, boy. Okay, we might want to get those rentals arranged then. So that should be fun. Happy Father's Day to all of you guys out there. Ryan, you going to do something special?
I think we have soccer Saturday night and guitar Sunday, and I don't know what after that.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah. So happy Father's Day to all our players, our coaches, our fans. Dads are really important. Go out there, spend time with your dads. You never know. Last year was the last Father's Day I got to celebrate with my dad. So this year will be about memories. So when you have your dad around, celebrate with them, enjoy the memories while you have them and create more memories, because you never know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dads are important.
True
Story.
So
happy Father's Day, Mr. Hobson.
Thank you.
I know he
Appreciate
watches
that.
the show. I'm talking about your dad.
Oh.
I don't call you Mr. Hobson.
Yeah, that's fair. You don't, actually.
All right.
Should we hit him with it?
Let's hit him
with it.
Go Blizz.
Don't forget to like, follow,
subscribe,
share,
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.